welcome to another 3abn Today cooking program. We are the Micheff sisters.
I'm Linda.
I'm Brenda.
And I'm Cinda.
And do we ever have an exciting program planned for you today?
We have a really sweet program for you today.
Yes, we do. A very sweet program because the theme of our program is Let's Serve Dessert. And we have quite a bit of fun doing this program because, of course, I have a sweet tooth. We've shared this with you before. Our sister Linda really doesn't enjoy desserts.
Not at all.
But she makes the best ones. She really does.
I'm not sure how that works.
I know.
Because she never tastes
Try to
it.
please my husband.
Well, there you go. She makes the best desserts, and she has never, it's been all growing up, she's never really cared
I don't
for dessert.
remember eating a dessert.
No.
My husband's gotten me into eating organic honey a little bit now and then, so I can tolerate a little more than I used to.
Wow.
But if you don't enjoy it, why bother? Her at the table at her dessert, we'd be eating our dessert. She'd have an extra helping of mashed potatoes or spaghetti
Or the roast. Or
yeah.
Yes.
But we have some incredible desserts that we love, so we're sharing some of our family favorite desserts with you. And in fact, you can find our recipes in our new cookbook called Family Favorites. So let's show you what we're going to be preparing today. We're going to start off with my pumpkin donuts. And you're going to be really surprised at the ingredients in these.
And then we're going to have my little Nutter Butters.
Oh, I have to tell you, I love those.
And then we're going to have some coconut carob cups.
Coconut carob cups, those look good too. And then strawberry shortcake with a twist.
Oh, who doesn't love strawberry shortcake? Oh, and then I'm going to make you some peanut butter nuggets.
And I was going to say, who doesn't love peanut butter? I love peanut butter.
I do too. And we're going to top it off with pumpkin mousse cake.
I can see right now I'm going to have to get a lot of spoons.
I was just thinking that.
I have a lot of tasting to do. I mean, somebody has to do it, so I'm here to help you out.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team, sis.
You know, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm excited to bring to you the pumpkin donuts. I love donuts. And let me read the recipe for you. You will need 1 3/4 cups of white whole wheat flour, 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/8 teaspoon of ground cloves, 1½ teaspoons of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/2 cup of applesauce, 3 tablespoons of water, 1½ cups of sugar, and 2 cups of canned pumpkin. Now for the sugar mixture, you will need 1½ cups of sugar and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and that's separate, which I'll tell you about. So we have that just already mixed up over here, and that's to dip the donuts in after they are come out of the oven. So I absolutely love donuts of any kind. I love sweets, period. I mean, I just do. I don't eat a lot of them, but I
love pumpkin.
I'll take a taste of something, you know, but
I love pumpkin.
So
any way you want to serve it.
I love pumpkin too. And so, anyway, I came up with this recipe, and I found these incredible little baking sheets. I don't know if you've ever seen them before, but they're the shape of a donut. And you bake them. So these are, most people, when you think about donuts, you think about something fried. And these donuts are baked. And another thing that makes these donuts really healthy for you is I'm using white whole wheat flour. You're getting all the nutrition that you would normally get in regular whole wheat. But it bakes a little lighter, or the white whole wheat flour does, so it's not as heavy, and the color is a little different, it's a little lighter. So that helps. And then instead of oil, which you normally would think, or shortening in your recipe, I'm using applesauce. Instead of eggs, we're using the cornstarch. So you see how healthy? So here you're going to get donuts that are not fried, and that they are, there's no hydrogenated oil anywhere in them, and fat in them, and then you're getting, you know, something that you don't feel guilty eating, and it tastes good. So let's get started.
So you have an option too for sugar.
Oh yes, I want to show you. Thank you, sis. I want to tell you that at home I made these at home with something called Xylo Sweet, and this is the package. I'm going to show you right there. Might get a good picture of that. It's called Xylo Sweet. You can go on the internet and look at it. A lot of health food stores carry it. Also, you can get it, I mean, Amazon.com will ship it to you. It's a type of sugar that is a naturally sweetened sugar, and even diabetics can use because of the low glycemic index on it. And I actually love it best with that sugar because you use a little bit less than, it's a little bit sweeter with that sugar. That sugar is a little bit sweeter than regular sugar.
You don't have to use as much.
I made the recipe with regular sugar today because I know that there's many places in the world that you can't get this product. So I'm making it with sugar, but if you are in an area that has that Xylo Sweet, I'd recommend it. It's really
try it.
It's really good. It really is. So, sis, I'm just going to have you put all the wet ingredients in here. Linda, you're going to just put all the dry ingredients in here.
All of this here, huh?
All of that in there. Yep. And we're going to put your sugar in your wet ingredients. Okay, and just
let it dissolve a little bit.
No, just mix it up. We're not going to even worry about that. This is so. Now this we leave alone over here because that is for after it comes out of the oven. We're going to put that in.
Okay, we're going with the cornstarch.
Do you want me to put the applesauce in here?
Yeah, but Mom, did you see this? Look, I just want you to see this. I didn't do that.
Hey,
see that, Mom?
Stop being a tattletale.
I'll see, all that conjures up some good memories.
Do you want the applesauce in here?
I do. All wet ingredients. Okay. Just get those out of the way.
all right, are you happy?
Oh, see that, Mom? She did a good job after all. See that? Give her some praise.
Got some on the counter, but
There you go. I'll put that over there. Now I'm just going to mix the dry ingredients. This is how easy this is. And add it to the wet ingredients.
whoops, I forgot one.
Oh, don't do that to me. That's that cinnamon. That flavors it nice.
Do you know pumpkin is really good for you?
It is.
And cinnamon is good for you.
Okay, sis. Now you're just going to go ahead and let's see you mix that up.
Okay.
All right?
She's just really going
And
to keep
Linda,
me busy.
I'm going to have you spray these pans over here.
Okay.
And while they're while that's being mixed up, there you go. I'm just going to show you. I love these little scoop things. Don't you, sisters?
I
Lisa?
do.
You just go.
I use them for everything.
You got me some for a gift.
I love them.
I love them.
I don't like to give people things that I don't like myself. I
Right.
want to make sure I really.
But you give me all sizes. You give me a little one and a little bit bigger, and
I got them at a special kitchen store. There's some cheaper models out there, and I would say save your money and get the good ones because the cheaper ones
They don't last.
and
They break.
and they get caught all the time, and they're just not good. I get the good ones, and I use them for so many things. This is a 1/4 cup scoop, and that's all you need for each one of these donuts is 1/4 cup. So so Linda, I'm just going to have you drop 1/4 cup in here like this. And just one in each one. And Cindy, you're going to take it and you're going to scooch it across like that and go around and scooch it out.
I have a better idea. While you're doing that,
Aha! She found
I have a better job for me.
She is a little tricky, isn't she?
I think she knew you put that down there for her.
Ah.
Hmm.
And these are really good even the very these are good even the very next day. That's amazing. Aren't they nice and moist? And I made those last night. And there's a lot of donuts you notice if you buy them, if you don't eat them that day, the next day their texture changes and they're just not good, you throw them out. These are good and nice and moist and tender even the next day.
I think she's taken more than one bite.
So that's all there is to it. Just put it in the oven. You bake it at, 350 degrees for about 18 minutes, and depending on your oven, and dump them out of the onto the counter. You just dip them while they're hot into your sugar and cinnamon mixture, and then put them on your platter and eat. That's all it is. So just dip them in and serve them. That's all there is to it. And so I have some right here that you can see are already out there plated, ready for you to take a bite.
Trust me, these are amazing. You're gonna love them, and you won't feel guilty. So I actually could probably eat that whole stack because, I mean, they're good for you.
No, it's in moderation.
I would, except I think I need to show you the next recipe.
We need to make room for your little Nutter Butters.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I have to save room, you know. Let me read the recipe for this. For the little Nutter Butters, you will need 1/2 cup of non-dairy margarine, 2 cups of creamy natural peanut butter, 3 cups of graham cracker crumbs, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup, 1 cup of carob chips, and 3/4 cups of peanuts chopped. Everybody knows that I love peanuts. It's my favorite nut. So when I thought of dessert, I came up with peanut recipes. So this one is really simple. I like to use the all-natural peanut butter, and this is a creamy. And with the all-natural, I think
sometimes the all-natural is kind of
has a little,
can be kind of gritty.
Yeah.
And this looks very, very creamy. So you didn't do nothing to it. It's just the brand, or?
Yep.
Okay.
Actually, my favorite brand of peanut butter, and I can only get out in, actually, I think well, I actually had it at Walla Walla, so I think it's on the, I don't know if California has it or not, but it's Adam's peanut butter.
I never heard of it.
Oh, it's got the best flavor. I can't get it back in Tennessee, but when I fly out there to see Katie, I bring it back. This is a non-hydrogenated margarine, so you're going to mix that up. And then if you want to pour the maple syrup in for me,
okay.
And Linda, if you'll pour in the graham cracker crumbs.
All right.
All right. Just slowly? Or all at once?
That doesn't matter.
All right, then.
All right, all at once.
Just let it go. And what we're going to do is just mix this up. Now, if it's a little dry and crumbly, then add a little bit more of your creamy peanut butter, or you can add a little bit more of the maple syrup, because you don't want it to be a little bit of moisture, right? I usually, I don't add more of the margarine, I add more of the either peanut butter or the syrup. And now,
Came together fast.
didn't that come together fast? Now, something that is really important for you to do, you take a little bit like this. This is really important. And take it like this, and then you go like this. Oh yeah, that's good. Always do that. That's your tip for the day.
Well,
Okay.
Well, I think that she made a good point, because if you don't taste things, you can get in trouble. We had an adventure camp just this last weekend, and we were talking about heaven is a wonderful place and how God has so many things prepared for them. And I said, I had something prepared for them too. And so I opened up the lid. I had a present box, and I had made some cookies, and I passed them around, and everybody, we were all talking about heaven, and they were quiet. And the next morning, my husband said, Linda, what did you put on those cookies? And I said, well, I just rolled them in some powdered sugar afterwards, because I'd used vegan cookies and organic honey, and I just thought maybe I should make them a little bit special, you know, sweeter or whatever. He said, Linda, that was cornstarch you rolled them in. And I don't taste things, so I didn't know that it was cornstarch. And I wondered when they ate it, even the kids, they were so sweet, they just were very quiet, not a pin drop. And I thought they're just thinking about heaven. And then Sandy, Winky, and Heidi, Minette were there, and I handed them, you know, the rest of the cookies that were left, and they didn't want to take them out of my hand. And I was like, no, sure, you can have them. And they took them and just held them and just looked at me. And so the next day they came up to me and they told me, they said, we didn't know what to do. They tasted so bad. But
That's funny.
so Cinda gave you a good tip. You do need to taste.
She has got your back.
That's right.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I don't have a little scoop with me because I forgot my little scoop. And you may not have a little scoop either, so I'm going to give you your tip of the day.
Another tip?
Yeah, no, oh yeah, that's your second
I don't have
tip.
a story to go with that one.
I just take this and and if you rub it up against the side of the bowl like this, see how flat you can get it? And then it pops right out and you can stick it right in your little cups and press it down a little bit.
Do you like a
And-
well in the center? Or?
No, you can press them flat.
See,
Doesn't
look at
that work
that.
good
That works
though?
really good.
Aren't they nice and moist?
Yeah, and look at, you don't have to press it with your hand.
Oh, there you go. She's getting even more. And I have little paper liners. You don't have to have the little liners if you don't want. But, oh, that does work good, sis. Oh, there's Brenda's tip for the day. Doesn't that work good?
Yeah, it does.
And it just, so if you don't have a scoop and don't have
There's
a
not a lot
store
of
near
ingredients
you,
in this recipe
nope,
either.
nope, it's very easy. Say, while you guys are doing that, I'm going to show you, now the topping, I take, I'm going to need this spatula, so let me clean this off. Oh, I could go.
No!
I didn't.
Hey, we were covering for you. At least for the crew here who's going to eat it afterwards.
These are nice and moist.
This is kind of fun.
See?
Yeah.
I take a bowl,
Especially when you're taking then doing this, get you all those frustrations right out.
and then take about a half a cup of peanut butter. Oh, here, let me move like this. There.
Okay.
How's that? Take a half a cup of peanut butter, and then take it and just smear it on the sides of your bowl like this. And try and just kind of coat the sides of just a little bit up. Just kind of make a well in it like this. And then you will take your carob chips and pour them in the middle. And now you'll put this in the microwave. And you will microwave this for generally about 60 seconds. And then when the chips melt, you mix it all together. And then you'll take and spoon a little bit on top of this. You'll spoon a little bit on top, and then you sprinkle it with just a little bit of the chopped peanuts. And I've already done some for you that, because I don't have a microwave out here on the set. So I've already done some so you can see.
Aren't those beautiful?
So do you bake these at all?
Nope, that's it.
You don't have to bake them. Ooh,
Wow.
That's it, they're done.
I like that.
See?
Well, I think next up is Linda's coconut carob cups.
All right, for that you will need 2½ cups of uncooked quick oats, 3/4 cup of coconut, 1 cup of whole wheat flour, and that's the whole wheat white flour, 1 teaspoon of aluminum-free baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 cup of soy margarine, 1/2 cup of carob chips, 3/4 cup of honey, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and 26 pecan pieces. For the carob glaze, you will need 1/2 cup of carob chips and 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup. So,
That sounds
These
good.
sounds good.
Well, I see Cindy told you about her favorite nut. We can set these over here.
well, that's
love
really,
pecans.
that's fine. You can have those. I am going to start by putting all my dry ingredients together here.
Coconut.
This is coconut, and I use quick oats. This is a little bit of aluminum-free baking powder, and this is the white whole wheat.
And there is a difference between whole wheat flour and white whole wheat flour. It'll say it right on the
A
package.
little bit of salt. Thanks, sis.
That's your garnish, right?
Am I doing
That's your
anything over here,
garnish.
sis?
Okay. And a little bit of this.
Cinnamon?
Not yet.
Not yet,
Well,
no.
you, okay, yes, we'll put that in too. And then we're just going to mix it all up like that. It's really, really quite simple recipe.
I love the simple recipes.
I do too.
They go together fast. And
Okay, we're going to make like a well in the middle of this. And then we're going to add all the wet ingredients.
I thought you might want to scrape it out.
Mm-hmm.
Can't waste maple syrup.
Oh, I know. It's very expensive.
And it tastes good.
It does. And we
The
don't
vanilla.
use it a lot, but we don't have a lot of
She's
sweet
dying to
things.
throw that vanilla in. Let her
Throw it in.
Well,
And a little bit of honey.
What if it went in that?
Well, that's true. I thought about that.
I know. I wasn't just gonna.
Mess up your recipe.
Exactly. But knowing Linda, we all get that from Mom. Linda
Yeah,
would go, "Oh,
that's
that's
all
okay,
right."
sis. It might taste good."
Yeah. Not a problem.
Well, that's how new recipes are created, so. All right, we're gonna mix all those
but I got
wet
honey.
ingredients together really well. And then we're gonna just work in all
got it all over me.
stir it all over. You like honey?
Tastes good.
We get that from that place that,
That
by
farm?
Mom and
Yes,
Dad.
yes.
Thanks, sis.
We keep this little handy dandy paper towels under here because it really comes in handy.
Yep, and we keep a handy dandy trash right there.
Yes.
Okay, Cindy, if you could,
Which she missed.
if you could just spray one tray.
That means I have to try again.
Oh, no.
Hey, notice I'm being nice and spraying over here.
With this, you have to just keep working it until you get it all covered. You know, so it's all kind of a moist, wet. So there's nothing dry left in the in it. So
I
that's
need my gloves and really get in there.
yes, the gloves would work great. Ah,
Just happen to have them in your pocket.
I am a woman of my word. I tell you, I keep these things handy every time I'm cooking.
they really do work good.
Maybe it's the nurse in me. You know, Cindy and I are both nurses.
I was
I'm worried
just
about
thinking
those.
that.
Yeah, I have them handy.
All right, we will do this.
Hey, you know, I better be true to my word and do
Yeah,
this.
Cindy's got to help
Because,
out.
you
She's
know,
gonna make sure I didn't put something
Yeah.
else in it. Now,
That's good.
now, if you have gloves, that does work a lot faster and better. And I do use a little scoop, but we will use this today. This is the one you sprayed. Okay, you're gonna
It
put.
is. I'm busy. I would help.
You're gonna put about that much in the pan. Just kind of put it to the top because it'll raise up just a little bit from the baking powder. So you're gonna do that, and you're gonna fill these. So while we're filling that, Brenda, if you could turn the, she'll make the glaze.
Okay.
Actually, I make the
Let
glaze
me
while
take
this
these
is baking.
off of you. You can put them right over here. Going
Don't
to
you have an
dump it.
extra pair?
I do.
Oh, okay. I need these. See, I'm still gonna
need
be
this
doing this
too?
stuff.
You need this
Oh,
too?
okay.
No,
I'm cleaning up,
I
Brett.
don't need that. We are careful here. So put the pure maple syrup in.
Okay.
And just kind of bring it to a boil. So while she's doing that,
I think I'll just
Like
supervise.
a simmering or a full bubbling boil.
Cinda can supervise. Yes, just bring it to, it'll bubble up.
Okay, how am I doing so far?
You're doing
My
really good.
supervisor over there.
Oh, I don't know. You know, the flame was a little high, and but carry on.
Okay. Can I just say how much fun it is to be with my sisters? I just love being with them. It doesn't matter what we're doing. We could be cleaning out a garage, or we could be, you know, straightening up a pantry, or we could be doing, you know, outside your, whatever it is that we're doing. We just really have a lot of fun doing it.
We could be doing a skit like we did in Iowa, Missouri. Yeah, remember when we played that skit and we were so out of character?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was so funny because, well, we were
Well,
trying
we did
to,
that. Didn't we do that in Nebraska too?
well, this one was just the last time, it was the latest
okay,
one that we did.
I'm a little boiling here.
All right,
You better look at
let
that.
it get a little more.
Supervisor.
So I'm telling her to
She's
look.
on it.
We just portrayed
hey.
what it was like, a little bit more,
Look at.
a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, now slowly stir in your chips.
Okay. Ooh, is that too fast?
Yep, and
She
stir.
said slow. Key word.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, I was slow.
Until
Kinda.
it's melted, and then you take it off and let it cool. And
Okay.
you won't need these until it's finished baking.
All right.
But anyways,
go.
we were portraying what it was like to be a family that just didn't even care about each other.
Oh,
and
that skit.
Right.
I thought you were talking about the
No.
skits we did for our women's retreat that one time that was so funny.
This was a woman's retreat.
Oh, yeah, this is a
But,
different skit.
yeah.
We have fun in these skits, don't we?
We did. And so we portrayed what it was like, 3 people at the table on the cell phone and not caring about each other.
Oh,
and
yes.
the importance. Then we came back and we said, take 2. And then we showed them what it was like to listen to each other and care about each other and compliment each other and how
That's right.
a family grows and is bonded. And it was really, that was really
funny.
fun.
We all ad-libbed. Did we ever have a blast?
Oh, it's funny.
We did. So then just set that on the side.
Good enough now?
And you'll let it, when this comes out of the oven, the carob cups, they'll be raised up, and you just pour a little bit of glaze. You take them out and set them on a platter, pour a little glaze on it, and stick,
Stick a nut right there.
well, you'll stick a nut right there when it comes out. You can bake it on too if you want, but I just put mine on and then pour the glaze over the top. And
I like the
and it
baked
stays.
roasted flavor.
Then you
Yeah, I
would
did
put
too.
yours on
It brings
just,
it's
just
more
like
intense
this.
flavor in the nut.
And we have some right here for you to see.
Wow, those are gorgeous. Absolutely
Those
gorgeous.
look good.
Wow, coming up next is strawberry shortcake.
Oh my.
And for this, you will need 2 cups of white whole wheat flour and a 1/2 cup for kneading, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, 3/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1/4 cup of canola oil or vegetable oil, 2/3 cup of almond milk, and for the topping, you will need 8 to 10 cups of fresh strawberries and 2.5 cups of non-dairy whipped topping. One of my very favorite things to eat is biscuits. I am a biscuit girl and biscuit lover. I love breads anyway. When Cindy and I were traveling to, actually Linda too, when we were traveling to Europe, we were hitting all the bakeries in all the towns first, going out and looking at all the stuff. It was, I love baked things. And one of my favorite things is biscuits. And in our family tradition, you know, every Sunday morning was biscuits and gravy. And even growing up as kids, our favorite family breakfast for Sunday morning was biscuits and gravy. And these are sweet biscuits for shortcake. And really, you can take the same recipe and leave the sugar out and make just regular biscuits for your family. However, if you want a more biscuity, flaky recipe, not more shortcakey recipe, you would do something different. And I just wanted to share this with you. You would take the oil, if you mix all your dry ingredients, and let's just do that real quick. Sisters, just dump those 3 things right in there. And you would just mix up those dry ingredients so that I'm going to kind of give you 2 recipes in one here.
Boy, bonus.
I know, in case someone may not want a sweet biscuit, but I think a sweet biscuit for shortcake is an absolute must, in my opinion. So that's why I'm giving you that. But here we have just white whole wheat flour, and I mix that up, and I make a well in the middle. And if I was going to use, at this point, if I was going to make regular biscuits that were not shortcake biscuits, I would take the oil, and I would dump it in this well, and then I would have this motion going on right here. I would just flip through it really quick, and I would just keep flipping, and what we would do is get little tiny pea-sized little pieces of where that oil is attaching to the flour until you get it all mixed up in like that, so it still looks floury with little clumps of pea-sized clumps in it. That's getting your oil. Then you would add your moisture and make it into a dough, okay? Total different process for shortcake biscuits. It's a different texture, and this is the texture for this one. And so, sis, I'm going to have you take the canola oil and the almond milk and mix those 2 together, and she's going to mix them and whip them till they emulsify so that they're really whipped well together. Let me put those of it on the side. And really and you can do this with a fork as well. You don't have to have a wire whisk. A wire whisk kind of just makes it a little easier. And
It blends it better, I think.
And I wanted to give you a couple of biscuit tips. Okay, that looks good. Yep, that looks really good. I want to give you a couple of biscuit tips before I mix this up, and here's why. When I went to make these up in the prep kitchen this morning, my sisters will attest to you, these are prayed over biscuits because I about panicked. They did not turn out. And I've made these for years. And I am so I made them again. My assistant, Melissa Hoffman, was back there helping me, and she knows I'm after the second batch, and they're not turning out. We've tried different things. We tried, they were so wet. There wasn't, or we kept altering the recipe. Now I'm starting on now the fourth thing of biscuits. I am really starting to panic. My sisters come in, they pray over them and say, okay, so, it's going to be okay. I'm like, I don't know what's the matter. I've made these all my life. I don't know what's happening. They won't turn out. Well, guess what? We finally figured out after 6 batches, it was the flour. We changed the flour, and they had used, when they purchased the flour, from one of those big bins at a bulk bin place where you just measure up the flour, and don't do that. Flour goes bad just like anything else, and we used the different flour, and it was perfect. And I was like, oh, thank you, Lord. So if you've got old flour sitting around your house, get rid of it. Get some good fresh flour, because when it goes bad like that, you can also lose all those nutrients. So you really don't want to do that either. So
it actually takes on a different smell too.
Yes, I didn't smell the flour actually, but I was sure glad. I was like, thank you, Lord. So I was really appreciative.
Well,
so,
you did smell. I opened a box of graham cracker crumbs.
Oh, let's not talk about that. We were cleaning out your pantry.
I smell everything. I just do. And I opened up a box of graham cracker crumbs and thinking, oh, I could use this,
While
for
she's
the
talking,
recipe.
I
opened it up and I went, these don't smell. These smell terrible.
Just a minute. Well, hold that thought 1 minute, because I'm not going to have time to show them this.
Okay.
Don't hurry. Okay, because I got to put that in and then mix quickly. Whoops. And you try to keep all that flour in the bowl and not on me, which I did do that as well. And so you just mix quickly like that. And I use a rubber spatula. I like that best, because I'm just getting all the dry ingredients so they are wet, just like that. See, and now I'm going to show you what else you do. You put on your gloves. Anytime I'm mixing anything, I put on my gloves. Sorry about your story, sis, but just a minute here. I got to get these going.
Oh, no, they got the gist of my story. The graham crackers didn't smell good, so you got to smell stuff.
The end.
Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to take my hand, and I just kind of knead it just slightly. And you notice I have extra flour over here, and you don't have to have, I put like a half a cup of extra flour for kneading, but just use what you need. You might not need an extra a half a cup. And
because all flours
look,
are
this
different,
came out perfect. Isn't God good how he works? These are just the right amount, just perfect. So if you take that, sis, I'm going to sprinkle some flour down here, and you do want to, you know how I kneaded that in there just a little bit like that? Gently, because when you're working with biscuit dough, you don't want to overwork it. But here's another tip that I want to teach you.
Yeah, it's not like bread.
Point it out, go like this, and fold it several times for a flakier biscuit. That's how you get those layers in your biscuits, okay? And then when you've done that several times like that, just a few times, doesn't take much, then what you're going to do is you're going to just flatten it out. I don't use a rolling pin. I just flatten it out like this.
About how flat? Tell them about how flat you're getting it.
It's about, what? Is that like a
half an inch?
That's about an inch. That's about an inch thick, because I like nice thick flaky biscuits.
I do too.
And this is another tip right here I want to show you. I put a little flour in a jar, and I dip my cookie cutter or biscuit cutter in there and make sure, and I actually, this is what we had in the test kitchen. It's not one I really prefer. I like these metal kind, but this was a little one, and I didn't want little biscuits, but I like the metal kind. The sharper, the better. When you cut down quickly and cleanly, you're going to have the best biscuits, and they will rise the highest.
They'll look prettier after
if they're
when
pushed
they're baked.
down on the sides, they aren't going to rise as well. So that's why it's good to have a nice, clean, quick cut. You dip that in there real quick and then cut and lift up. So this is all I had to work with today, so I'm doing the best I can.
You could do some small ones.
But look, just down and like that. And then spray that with a little nonstick cooking spray for me. Okay. And just lay that right on there. The next one is just quick and down. And I want you to see, can you see the layers of this, because I cut quickly? I want you to see the layers of that, if you would. Just get right in there close, if you would, Robert. Just see. I want you to see how the layers are. And that makes a huge difference in that cut. Okay? So after we do that,
Wait. Tell them how far apart you put them on the
About
cookie
2
sheet.
inches on the cooking sheet.
So you're gonna put them a
So
little bit.
it's not close together, unless you want a softer biscuit. But I like a nice, crusty biscuit. And so you'll take those, and then, and this is extra flour I have on the side if I need it. You can see I hardly needed anything. Then what you're gonna do, let me take these off. You're gonna just take your biscuit. This is one that's already done. You're just gonna take it in half. You're going to spoon some strawberries on there, put a little whipped cream on there, and here you go. Just put your strawberries, put your, and I put whipped cream, and of course this is non-dairy non-dairy whipped topping, and just put that on there, and give Cinda a spoon, and there you go.
Ooh, I like this. Let's see.
So you gotta get some of that good flaky biscuit with the nice
I'll get
strawberry.
the good flaky biscuit, trust me.
And there you go. And we have some already here. You can see I've got a nice big basket of biscuits to show you, and also a strawberry shortcake that's already prepared and ready to eat.
That is delicious.
And the next recipe is one of my favorite recipes. It's Cinda's peanut butter nuggets.
Let me read the recipe for you. You will need 3/4 cup of unbleached flour, 1/4 cup of uncooked quick oats, 1½ teaspoons of cornstarch, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 1/2 cup of brown sugar, 1/4 cup of non-hydrogenated vegetable shortening, 2 tablespoons of canola oil, 1/3 cup of creamy peanut butter, and 1/2 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. And for the glaze, you will need 1/4 cup of creamy peanut butter, 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, and 1/4 cup of water. And notice I chose a peanut recipe again.
Yes, you did, and I am so glad you did, because I love these. We have so much fun cooking when we're together, and we will taste each other's things, and we'll say, what do you think, what do you think? And one of us will say, well, it's kind of missing, I think a little more salt, or it needs this or something, and I go, oh, that's good. We have so much fun like that. Well, last night we were in the prep kitchen, and she says, try these, and so she just, she held one out, and so I took just a nibble off of hers. I'm not the adventurous taster, so I just took a nibble off of hers like that, and I tasted it.
And then I went like this.
She was just getting ready to put
like
the rest in her mouth,
and she grabs it out of my hand and sticks it in her mouth.
Don't mind if I do.
And she said, I give this a 10.
Yeah, I'm very, very guarded with my number system 10s. You don't get a 10 unless it is earned. It is earned, and this is earned.
All right, let's show you how to make these.
Yeah, pay attention. Don't stop. If you're multitasking, stop what you're doing and pay attention to this one.
You know what? Before I start, I'm going to stop, because she didn't tell you how to bake her biscuits.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's looking at me like, what didn't I do?
I'm sorry. You want to bake my biscuits at 425 degrees for about 10 to 12 minutes, depending on your oven. So just 425 degrees. It's a hot oven that you do it in. So, thank you, sis. I'm sorry.
Your biscuits are so good. I wanted to be able to bake them right.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I'm just helping you out, okay?
I was in such a eager, to get to this recipe.
Okay, put your brown sugar in, and then you put your 2 tablespoons of oil in. And now I use the non-hydrogenated vegetable shortening, and what I use is Spectrum. And you can,
I know you can get. We got that in our local grocery store.
Oh yeah. And
so Kroger, for those that don't know, is just a national.
It's a grocery store. It's a chain. It's a grocery store, and that's good, because some people ask us, what is Kroger? So that is true. It's just the one near us.
Okay, so you'll want to blend this up until it gets blended. Don't you love the noise? Oh, put her back in, sis.
All right, here it comes. We did wash the table.
This bowl is spitting around. Now add, sis, if you can put the peanut butter in, and I'm going to add the vanilla.
Okay.
And you want to get that mixed up. I'm going to start mixing while you're adding. Boy, this mixer
It's
doesn't
the
want to.
mixer.
The
That's the
mixer
problem.
just does not want to work good. Look at that.
I think you're going to have to mix it by hand.
Only one
There's-
beater is working.
Yeah, your beaters aren't clicking.
Boy, I'm going to have to get a new mixer. Look at that. I'm going to have to get a new mixer.
And that one's yours, isn't it?
That doesn't work good at all. Okay, now.
So if that happens to you or you don't have a mixer, she's not going to demonstrate just how easy it is by hand.
I'm going to show you how to limp through it and use your broken mixer.
There you go.
Okay, I'm going to put all the dry ingredients in together. Better get all that. That was our cornstarch for a binder, so we don't have eggs.
Get all that out.
And mix all this up. Now we'll see if our poor little mixer will mix this. If not, we're not worried. We have two sisters.
And this is flour, so Linda, stand back.
Okay, let's just go.
Boy, this mixer just doesn't like. He's just deciding he's not going to work today.
I think he's doing okay.
Well, it's not. It should have already been blended. Oh well, folks, this is real TV. All right, where's your gloves?
Everywhere.
Where's your gloves?
She's going for
Oh, I
Plan
used,
B.
Melissa.
Hey, Melissa, do you have another pair of gloves? I don't know what we would do without Melissa and CQ.
We should have her come up
and
and set
Bonnie Lass. Yeah. Shh, don't tell me. She doesn't like to come
Yeah,
on
we want to say
camera.
a special thank you to our dishwasher who's here washing dishes for us in the prep kitchen. We just don't know what to do without her.
Melissa, bring it here.
Can you
oh,
bring
come
it?
on, just bring it here. Melissa, she won't bring it.
Melissa Hoffman
We tried.
is my assistant. She works for me here at 3abn. She's actually a 3abn employee, but she works for me. And I got to tell you, on Kids Time, I don't know what I would do without her. Honestly, don't. She is amazing. So a lot of times, if you haven't heard from me personally, and it used to be I couldn't get back to people sometimes for a couple months. Now you'll hear from me faster because it's through Melissa. So she helps me out so much, and she helps us each time we cook.
Oh my!
Her and CQ are just amazing. So
Okay, y'all, if your mixer dies or you don't have one, just blend it with your hands.
Yeah, and if you don't have gloves, just wash your hands really good.
God gave us a natural blender.
that's right.
Natural mixer. There you go. Look, I even got it all off the sides of the bowl, so it might have worked better. And actually, since I'm doing this, if you want to do it with your hands, you can take it. And sister, since you don't have
Should I
gloves,
spray this?
oh yes, could you spray it, please?
Mm-hmm.
Just use a tablespoon. I do a tablespoon sized cookie. So you want to do a tablespoon, sis. Here's yours. And then just put it on like that.
Okay.
And how far apart?
This is the press, tap, and go method.
Probably about 1.5 inches apart is fine. There you go. And
Do these bake then?
these will bake at 375 for, let me see, 10 minutes. And now, while you guys are doing that, I'm gonna do a glaze. Let me move over, sis.
Okay, well, I'm still
and
having
let you
trouble
do-
getting this out of here.
Are you serious?
Hey, we can figure it out.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay. I just gotta hammer harder.
Sis, I need this bowl.
Okay.
And I'm going to take and show you how to make a glaze. Once you bake them, let them come, bring them out of the oven, let them cool, and then you're going to make a glaze. You're going to take your peanut butter. This is a 1/4 cup of peanut butter, and put that in your bowl. And then I like to I mix my water. Take your water and mix your water, and I'm going to not add all the water first, because this is a glaze, and so a glaze.
You cook that?
No,
No cooking.
no.
Imagine that.
A glaze is just supposed to smooth on really easy. It's not like a thick frosting, and so I'm going to spread that. see why I do the peanut butter first, because to mix the water with the peanut butter, it takes a little bit. Now put your powdered sugar in and mix your powdered sugar up. And then you add your water. You can add more water if you think it needs it. It might not need it. It looks like it's going to spread really easy.
Oops.
There you go. See how that is. Oh, what did she do now?
We're just figuring this out.
Yeah, we're just mind your own business over there. It's okay.
See how the glaze? It's real. It's
okay.
The consistency.
Eat this one.
Oh, good. Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute.
Fit in the spoon.
I got a little leg glaze on it too.
Oh.
Now you can't
Now
use
you
that
got
glove.
that. I'm taking it. There you go.
I got one more glove left.
There
Well,
we go.
And I've made some ahead of time so you can see what they look like. And that's
Awesome.
how they are all
Beautiful.
baked.
Well, last but not least is Linda's pumpkin mousse cake.
All right, let's read the recipe. 1 12.3 ounce package of Morinu tofu, 2 cups of canned solid packed pumpkin, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice, 1/8 teaspoon of sea salt, 1/2 cup of pure maple syrup, 1 box of graham crackers, 1/3 cup of pecan pieces, 1 recipe of carob glaze. The carob glaze is 1/4 cup of pure maple syrup and 1/4 cup of carob chips. All right, this is an easy cake recipe. So I think
Moist cake. It's like a pudding cake. Isn't
We
it?
like
It is.
easy and we like pumpkin.
That's right.
And I told you about the graham crackers. Just make sure it has 3 packs in your box. And the packs are about, see, these all were a package. So you need about 3 packs just like that.
Okay.
We're going to start out with Cinda. She can be the blender queen today.
You know, I might need one
It's
of those
not my
spoons.
favorite thing to do at all.
What a spatula.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, is the blender is plugged
since I
in,
did
right?
so well with the mixer, I might as well try my luck.
Is
the
your blender plugged in?
Oh.
All right. I'll plug it in.
I'm glad you're the one
Okay,
over
so
there.
pumpkin goes in?
Yes, put the pumpkin in.
All right, I got it going here.
Okay. Make sure you get all that good pumpkin.
Yeah, because Mom is watching.
And pumpkin's so good for you.
Yes, lots of antioxidants.
I try and sneak pumpkin in a lot of my recipes.
I do too. I even put it in whole wheat bread.
I put pumpkin sometimes. I have a chili recipe where
I do
pumpkin
too.
in the chili, and it's delicious. You wouldn't think, but it is.
Yeah, it makes bread really moist too, whole wheat bread.
My daughter Katie makes a good pumpkin curry.
Okay, you can put all the seasonings in and then the,
Oops, hello.
yep. This is not, don't use a water packed tofu. It's really important that you use the Morinu.
I'm just going to show that to you
yeah.
so that you can see.
Because the water packed will be gritty and kind of grainy, and
No.
you don't want to use that. Any kind of brand, just so it's a silken tofu.
Okay. You ready?
Stir it a little bit.
Yeah, just
Yeah, let
get
me
the
stir it a
sides,
little bit.
and then it's just about done. It really doesn't take that long.
No.
We need to get the sides though. We got to
It's a
get
nice
that.
Vitamix mixer too. I love those Vitamix mixers because you can do so many things. Sorry. Is that good?
That's good.
All right.
Okay, while
There's a whole
Cinda's
hunk
scraping
of
that
pumpkin.
down.
Woo! There's raining pumpkin.
Meanwhile, while Cinda is dealing with the pumpkin mixture,
Back at the ranch. I'm having fun over here.
That's
Hey,
really,
what'd you say?
I said that's good.
Oh, okay.
I can get the sides. Okay.
Watch out when she takes some of it off.
Sis, I want you to make the carob glaze do the same thing you did last time.
Okay.
You're going to put
You think I'm going to remember that, right?
I think you will. That's why we have you over here. So you
All
put
right.
that in there, the maple syrup.
Okay.
And when it comes to a
To a
boil,
boil.
You can add
I
this
know
in
what to
and
look
stir
for
it.
this time. I'm
All
gonna
right.
let that bubbles roll over here.
All right. That's all she has to do, and she's going to bring it to boil. Now, I'm going to spray the bottom of my pan, just the bottom, with a little bit of vegetable spray here. And I'm going to take my graham crackers, and I'm going to lay them on the bottom like this, and a couple here. Now, when I have broken pieces, and I know I've got a few broken pieces, I'm going to put these on the side. So it doesn't matter how it is, but you just want to fill it in. So you can fill it in with a little bit of
Broken pieces.
Right.
Yep.
Just a little bit more. That's okay. Okay, sis, I'm ready
All
for
right,
you.
there you go.
And now you're going to take and you're going to put a little bit of pumpkin mixture on each one of these.
Okay.
Go. And you're going to spread that over the bottom, and then you're going to take a little bit of more of
just keep
graham
making
crackers.
layers.
You layer it, and then when it's all finished, you put the glaze over the top, and you sprinkle it with nuts. And I think we had a piece for her somewhere.
Oh,
Really?
yeah, we were thinking
Wow.
of you.
This is how it looks.
They made me work, and now they're treating me. How nice. You guys are so nice. Let's just see here.
And we have one right here to show you. And
And it looks just like that. Doesn't that look delicious?
That's delicious.
all right.
Well, right now, I'd like to show you how you can get one of our 5 cookbooks, including our brand new one, Family Favorites.
If you've enjoyed the recipes today and would like to purchase your own copy of one of their cookbooks, including their new cookbook, Family Favorites, you can write to 3abn, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. That's 3abn, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois 62896. Or you can call 618-627-4651. That's 618-627-4651. If you'd like to contact the Micheff sisters for speaking appointments or concerts, you can do so at their website at micheffsisters.com. That's MICHEFF, sisters.com.
Hello, I'm Tom Mann. Have you ever wondered what it takes to keep 3ABN's message fresh and up to date? We're working constantly on new programs for an ever-growing audience around the world. But how is that accomplished? After working many years in television and radio, I've realized how unusual it is for 3ABN to produce such a large percentage of original quality programming. Most Christian networks use a large number of programs produced by other ministries, and unfortunately, they have little or no control over the content. But we've been called to give a consistent message, and we do not allow the focus to become entertainment or performance-oriented. The clear vision given to Danny Shelton, our founder, was to build a television station that would reach the world with the undiluted Three Angels messages, one that would counteract the counterfeits. And that's what we strive for. We just don't provide family-friendly programming. If it's not squarely based on the Bible, our pledge to you is that it will not appear on any of our networks. When it comes to original programming, we produce 69% of our 3ABN English television content, 67% of our 3ABN Latino content, and 100% of what our Russian language channel airs. Without the Lord and all of you, that would be impossible. But we're continuously blessed with the finest teachers, preachers, health presenters, and guests day after day and year after year. So many people work together to make a television program. Producers, directors, camera operators, studio managers, lighting and audiovisual directors, and video engineers, just to mention a few. But we never forget that the message is the most important part of the equation in bringing the hope of salvation to those who haven't heard about Jesus Christ. We have only one solution: a relationship with our Savior. And whether it's a story of a changed life or a program specifically for children, we want to bring honor and glory to Him each and every minute of every day. And with 6 networks airing 168 hours of programming each week, that's a total of 1,008 hours. How can we do this with such a small staff? The answer is simple: the Lord makes it possible, and He uses you to help. From the beginning, your prayers and financial support have made it all possible. And 25 years later, our message is still strong. So thank you for all you do for 3ABN. Your prayers are felt each day, both at our ministry headquarters and all around the world. If the Holy Spirit impresses you to support 3ABN's worldwide ministry, please send your tax-deductible love gifts to 3ABN, Post Office Box 220, West Frankfort, Illinois, 62896, or call us at 618-627-4651 during regular business hours. God bless you.
Well, we are so glad you joined us for dessert today. And sis, you wanted to tell them one more thing about your pumpkin cake?
Yes, you have to make it like the night before or early in the morning when you need it, because the graham crackers have to soak in, and that's what becomes soften and becomes cake-like.
So it needs to set.
It's not something you make and then serve.
All right. Well, let's take a look at all the recipes that we prepared today, starting off with Linda.
Coconut carob cups.
That's right. And from there, we're going to, oh, my favorite, the little peanut butter nuggets. I love them. And then there's pumpkin donuts.
And those were delicious.
Thanks, sis.
And the little Nutter Butters.
Oh, I love your peanut butter recipes.
And the pumpkin mousse cake.
That's right. Don't forget to let that set for a little while. And then last but not least, we have strawberry shortcake biscuits, and you're making strawberry shortcake. And wasn't that fun?
Wasn't I right? That was a sweet program today, wasn't it?
Hey, she was telling you the truth, just like it is. We have so much fun sharing these recipes with you, and we'd like to hear from you. Write to us. Tell us what you would like to see prepared on a program, and maybe we'll do a program just for you.
That's right.
It would be fun, wouldn't it? And you could also send us recipes. That's all the time we have today. So until next time,
may all your meals be seasoned with God's love.
Bye-bye, everybody.